we're going over sideline hip cars. Level 1 cars, a bunch of different ways to do them, call them conscious blocking, so meaning that your brain is doing the blocking of the other body parts. We want to do that in the beginning so that you get your body used to doing it yourself. Again, what we're trying to do in the cars, our goal is to disassociate the joint from the rest of them. So when I'm trying to move the hip, nothing else moves. And just starting to learn our body a little bit. Where our weak points are, where we're a little bit stronger. That's the point of cars, and especially in the beginning. So you don't want to block yourself off, putting yourself in a really strict position with external factors. We want to make sure that we're just doing it consciously first, really learning how to do that before we kind of move on to something else. Okay, so standing can be kind of tough to do the hip cars on, requires a lot of balance and honestly a lot of strength on that one side, right? That's holding you up. So sideline can be a really good way of setting it up so that anybody can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna have a yoga block here as kind of a pillow to keep my head from off the ground. Anything that you use for a pillow can work. Wrapping myself up here. Now I want to be stacked. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, knees are a little stacked. It doesn't necessarily matter where we're at here. Straight leg, bent leg. I like to bend them a little bit here, just because this is a little more comfortable than straight leg. Want to have some tension, right? We've talked about the tension in our upper body. That's going to help send some more juice into the area that we're working on. Hands here pushing into the mat to give us some more tension and going through our hip car. So first motion is bringing the hip up as high as we can, rotating the hip out as far as we can. Don't let your pelvis shift here. Stay here while I open up as far as I can. Now internally rotating the hip as I reach back as far as I can without extending from the low back, and end right next to each other. Same thing in reverse. Kicking back into extension, same thing. It's not gonna be very far because we don't want it to come from here. So go back to as much as we can, probably feel it in the glute there. Same thing, coming up as high as we can, and then closing the door, rotating up, bringing your shoulder, or bringing your knee to your armpit, down and finish. That's one. Coming up, out, rotate as you reach back, down, kick back into extension as far as you can. Don't let it come from the lower back. Whole thing comes up. As soon as I maxed out there, then I rotate out and down. Okay? Go nice and slow. We don't want to focus on how big the motion is. It only matters how big the motion is when nothing else moves. So goal number 1 is to go through that without anything else moving. Then we can focus on how big the circle is, how close you're pushing to your end range, those kind of things. Find where your range is with without anything moving, then move on from there. Sideline hip car.